Hi, this is Kimberly from Your First Figure Competition, and today is Monday, and it's peak week for me. A lot of you ladies are getting close to peak week, and you have a lot of questions, so I decided to share some of my tips. But remember, if you have a coach, I don't want anyone changing what their coach told them to do because you have trained up to this point to do a certain thing. There's definitely different ways to do peak week, but there are some pretty standard things I'm going to talk about today, but there are probably some things you didn't know. So again, if you've been told to something else based on your training and prep, make sure that you're following that. So I'm going to talk about just 5 things. There's a lot of tips. I share my full program, what I did up until this point to get to peak week in Contest Prep Secrets 2.0. But I'm just going to share 5 things I think are really important to make sure you come in looking your best on show day, which is usually Saturday. So let me make sure that we talk about those things step by step. 1, water. If you're holding water, if you feel like you're holding water in all the wrong places, usually for women and for me especially, it's right here around the sides and thighs and inner thighs and back of the buttocks. So if you feel like you're holding a little water, instead of waiting until exactly on Monday at peak week, you might want to start 10 days out, which I did. And there's a couple ways you can get rid of water. The natural way to get rid of water is to drink water. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're probably thinking, why am I drinking water? I want to get rid of water. But your muscles are 70% water, so it needs water. It'd be flooded with water. And I start that water flood on Monday. I drink 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons. And then by Thursday, all the way up until Thursday, I start tapering off my water. And how much I drink, I don't want to get into that, but you start tapering off until your show day. But you do not go waterless. You still drinking water each one of your meals on Saturday. You still need to eat. You still need to drink, because if you don't, you're going to cramp. So drinking plenty of water gets rid of water. These are natural ways to get rid of water. Also, drinking green tea gets rid of water. And I drink green tea mostly the last month or so of my prep. I switched from coffee to green tea because it is a natural diuretic. You probably heard about dandelion root being a very good natural source to get rid of water. There's a tea version. This particular brand, most of them, you have to steep the tea bag for 15 minutes in boiling water. It's time consuming sometimes. You don't want to wait for it. There are dandelion root capsules. They're perfectly fine to take. But make sure you follow the manufacturer, or if your coach is giving you some instruction on how to use them, make sure you follow those steps. So those are the natural ways to get rid of water. If you feel like that's not enough, you probably have heard there's the potassium sodium regimen. I don't use the potassium sodium regimen, so if your coach is having you do that, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. A lot of competitors use it. It's no problem. You have to manage the electrolytes and the potassium sodium in your body to make sure you're cutting water, but you're not, like I said, you're doing it the healthy way. You're watching your electrolyte balance. So potassium sodium is another way to do it naturally. You can also use some diuretics that are also okay for natural shows. I use some, and I do talk about it in my program. There's been times when I've held a lot of water, so I needed something a little bit more stronger herbs than the ones that are in, dandelion, just plain water. So there are other ways. There are some over-the-counter diuretics that are okay for natural shows. So I don't just say, oh, I can't take it because it's natural. It's not natural. Yes, the herbs inside the over-the-counter diuretics are natural, and you can get some benefit from those too. So there are other ways besides water, teas. You can use some diuretics, and you can also try the sodium potassium. Like I said, I don't want to get into how to use it because those things can go wrong. And if you have a coach and they're telling you how to do that, great. I do talk in my book how to use those things based on my prep. So that way you would follow my prep, and then when you got to that point, it would make sense to you. So first of all, get rid of water. It's going to make you look great on show day. That's step 1. 2, your skin needs to be exfoliated. You get all the dead skin off so that when you start the tanning process, the actual product sticks to your skin, is more absorbed when you don't have hair and dead skin. So I start on Monday-ish or a little bit before that. I take a glove, I buy exfoliating glove, and I wash all over, get all dead skin off, heavily moisturize afterwards. Your skin needs to be, you need to spend a lot of time, at least by Monday, all the way through, not the day of the show, but all the way until Friday, or until you get spray tan. Or until you get your tanning process. You need to be moisturized and exfoliated. If you have a lot of dry skin, you might want to start earlier and doing the exfoliating moisturizing. So step one, get rid of water. Two, we need to worry about our skin, making sure our skin looks very shiny. We want it to look healthy. We want it to look clean. We want to make sure that the tanning product adheres very well. So two is the making sure we get rid of exfoliating, getting rid of dead skin. Three, you gotta get your diet right the week of the show. So there's several ways to do your diet. Depends on your body type. I do, regular carbohydrate, moderate carbohydrate and carbs on moderate carbs and calories on Monday. Tuesday, I do a little bit low calories, low carb. Wednesday, I do a moderate calories, moderate carbohydrates. And I spread them through the day. Some people do them at the end of the day. I don't. I need to spread mine out. Thursday, sometimes I do a carb meal, a heavier carb meal on Thursday, but if not, I spread it, throughout the day, and then, or I just cut it totally off on Thursday. Depends on how I'm looking. And on Friday, I actually deplete totally, then have a little bit of carb that night, carb up that night. A lot of people say carb up the night before. Don't go crazy with a big bowl of pasta. Make sure it's appropriate based on what you've been doing prior to that. And then the day of show, you have your carb for peaking. And hopefully you have practiced that already. Figure out what food works best for you. I suggest oatmeal or pancake. A real pancake, not the protein pancakes. A real pancake with syrup. Usually you do that 2 hours before you compete. That way it'll make your muscles kind of pop and you get full because you've been depleting up to that point. Depends, I don't know how many days you're gonna deplete, it's up to you, but there is some depletion going on before the show. That way that your body kind of receives those carbs and kind of fills up just enough to look, really balanced for the judges. So making sure you get the diet right, your carbohydrate, calorie balance, is very important to come in competitive for your show on Saturday. 4, I can't stress this enough, practice your posing. That's why I'm in a bikini top right now. I just got back from a posing session with my coach, and it becomes really more about presentation this late in the stage. If you haven't trained properly, there's nothing you can really do. You might want to do another show if you're not ready, but you should be ready by now, and now it's all about presentation. And you want to make sure you're practicing starting on Monday, an hour a day at least, an hour a day. Workouts stop on Wednesday, so I'm pretty happy. I only got 2 more workouts. But posing continues on all up to the day of show. You're posing all the way up until you hit that stage and even in between. So posing doesn't stop. It actually ramps up, intensifies. 5, you want to make sure you don't get caught up in all the backstage hype when you get to the event. You need to get some rest. I know a lot of you guys have teams or you're going with friends and you get really hyped. You figure, girl, and you get some sleep because you are not going to look good with bags on your eyes, and you're not going to be able to hold those poses and go the distance. I mean, the shows start early in the morning and they end early in the morning the next day. It's depending on how big the show is. You're probably not getting out earlier than 10 o'clock. So if you think you can go from 5 or 6 in the morning where all the hair and makeup starts till 10 o'clock at night without any rest, let me know how that works. But I would suggest you get some sleep. It's very important for you to be rested. So those are the 5 main tips I think would be good for you to go into for your show. A little bit of other basic information. You should, by Monday, you should have packed your bag. You shouldn't be waiting till last minute. Make sure you have a good way of prepping, keeping your food cold. You need a good cooler because you got to manage food from the morning till the night. Until you step off that stage for the final time, you got to manage your food. You got to make sure you identify what you're going to be eating throughout the day. And make sure you bring your water. Make sure you have enough water for the day because you will be eating and drinking. You're not going to run on your hard work eating and drinking the day of the show. You do have to make sure you get that in. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. And I'm excited about my show Saturday. And I can't wait to, I'm going to do a little bit of some video coverage the day of the show and the day before after I get tan. So I try and share as much as I can with you. So I'm very excited and I look forward to giving you some backstage tips. But until then, train hard. And again, if you don't know how to train for a figure show, please get Contest Prep Secrets 2.0 and I will be your coach and I will help you all the way. Have a great day and I'll see you on stage.